resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington, and I am here with my review for Violent Night. Now, if you have not seen this movie yet, I implore you to come on back because there will be spoilers. We are in the midst of the holiday season. Happy holidays, all that good shit. This movie came out like a week ago. I just got a chance to go see it last night. So I felt like, let me go ahead and do a review and drop this on the channel. Which, by the way, thank you everybody who's been rocking with me, man. Thank you everyone who is now subscribed from watching the trailer reactions from Transformers Rise of the Beast, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Cocaine Bear, who's been watching the stand-up clips. I told you, the stand-up clips, I'm going to keep putting them on there. Trying to do... So my agents were like, you got to keep spreading those around, so it is what it is. And I know comedy ain't for everybody who likes it or don't, so I digress. When I first heard about this movie, I think I was like a lot of other people. I thought it wasn't a real thing. You told me there was a movie with David Harbour as Santa, and he was murdering people. And I was like, what? And he's murdering people. And you said John Leguizamo's in it. And I'm like, okay. And so the trailer comes out. I think the Red Band trailer drops. Everybody's like, this is a real thing. And then I went and saw it. Let me give you my first thoughts on the overall movie. I enjoyed it. It's a dope movie to just chill and watch. Like, this is literally Bad Santa meets Die Hard. That's the best way to describe this movie. Bad Santa meets Die Hard, because the way it kicks off is David Harbour Santa's at a bar or pub. I think he's in Scotland or England, somewhere in the UK, and he getting fucked up, y'all. He getting drunk as shit, and he like talking about how nobody believes anymore. Kids just want all this technical shit. And the bartender, she's like, you want another one? My man's like, I'm still standing up vertical. I want that to change. I was like, God damn. So at the end of the bar, there's I won't go beat by beat for the movie. At the end of the bar, there's a dude who's dressing up as Santa, and ask him how long has he been doing it, and et cetera, all this different shit. And so then, David Harbour got to go back because it's Christmas Eve, right? So he got to go deliver gifts. So he goes in the bag, which is magical, pulls out a gift for the bartender's grandson. And the bartender, she like, how did he know what my grandson wanted? More so, how did he know I had a grandson? So then he goes, she sees he done walked up to the roof. She's like, this drunk ass idiot upstairs. So she goes upstairs to the roof and sees this mock flying away, Santa and his 8 reindeer on the sleigh. And she's just in shock and disbelief, mouth agape, everything. And she's just like, I can't believe it. And then all of a sudden, Santa throws up over the side of the sleigh. And it goes all on her face, head, her mouth, everything. And I was hollering. And that, to me, set up kind of the tone what you were going to get for the rest of this movie. Of course, it's, a family coming together on Christmas. There's a estranged mom, and there's a mom and dad who are married but separated with a kid. She's all about Christmas. She wants her parents together. Of course, that's the wish from Santa, as always in those type of films. But there's so much that happens. The backstory of Santa, when you find out he was a warrior who was out here murdering niggas with a sledgehammer, I was like, when you get to, let me just say this, when you get to the murders in this show, the movie start off, like the murders start happening pretty quick, within about maybe 20, 30 minutes, 15, 20 minutes into the movie. You get the people decorating the house up for the light stones, all this shit for Christmas. Turn out they working for the dude who calls himself Mr. Scrooge, played by John Leguizamo. There's so much violence. I mean, people getting shot point blank here and just getting murdered, executed. But that is nothing. It pales in comparison to the way that David Harbour as Santa is murdering these niggas. It's one dude he fighting, right? Because he keep being like, I don't want to kill you. Because he don't let on that he has this past, this extreme, he's a warrior, he's a brute past. And it's one dude he fighting. They fighting through the Christmas tree, all this shit. He picks up the star from off top of the tree and jams it in dude's eye. And dude's still around. He hollering and shit. Santa plugs the tree up, and that shit electrocutes the fuck out of him. I was like, what? I was out. I mean, when I tell you, me and my homeboy who saw the movie, we were hollering laughing in the theater. Also, Santa has felt like he's lost his Christmas magic because, again, He feels sad about everything. He doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't want to be doing this anymore because, again, like I stated earlier, feels like nobody believes in him. You know, the mystique of Christmas is gone. Now there's an innocence in children, but parents typically kill this innocence in kids early. Just because I know a lot of parents who've been like, well, you know, my child not finna thank some old white fat white man for their gifts. They gonna know it's me. And as a father of two, I find myself at both ends of that spectrum because, yeah, my daughter's 9 now. My son's 19. My son's a kid. Yeah, I would like to know, yo, your father did all this, that, and the third. But there is a level they know if you're in your child's life, your child knows that you as a parent are gonna do whatever you can for them whenever you can. So Christmas just isn't a different. It's just another day per se. But there's this innocence, this purity of a child when it comes to Christmas. And so, you know, you talk about a lot of that with Santa and meeting Trudy, the young girl who helps to, you know, get Santa through this. Which, by the way, Trudy, they set up earlier when Trudy and her mom pick up her dad. Trudy just watched Home Alone. There is a reason she tells you exactly which movie she watches. Because in the movie, she later, because when the people like the mercenaries are setting up and she calls herself helping out Santa after she's run away and hid in the attic, she starts setting up Home Alone-esque traps. Here's the thing. They work in real life, and the way that this movie is done, it shows how they would work. You know, with the ladder, with the, you know, when you step on something and you see all the spikes and stuff, and then one of the henchmen like, yo, this shit don't work if I can see it. So, right? So he sees the things, he steps up the ladder. What he doesn't see is one of the rungs on the wooden ladder is cut to break. And again, the next step has a nail striking him through it. So he thinking he cool climbing up. Some motherfucker rung breaks and nail goes straight through his bottom mandibular jaw. And he's still alive because that wouldn't kill him unless it went through his brain. And this other mercenary chick, what was her name? Candy Cane, who was like, what? They were freaking out. But it's so much that she does that ends up like, oh, if this was real, this is really what would happen. And I don't even want to spoil how much of the shit she does with the Home Alone tricks. To see, one of the things this movie does for me, well, this is just all my opinion. It balances out the action aspect and the holiday feel. Because again, you got the family being together who are being held hostage, the reason being the mom has smuggled $300 million that the U.S. government gave her to funnel oil and all this other shit out the Middle East, and then she made it seem like the money just disappeared. She kept it in the vault in the basement. So, again, you got to have that action element behind it. But you got the family together. They're, you know, the family for the most part is at odds with trying to all kiss up to the mom, who's all about the money. And that's the holiday element. And then when shit goes through it, you basically have where every member of the family catches a body. If you don't know what the expression catch a body mean, every member of the family kills some goddamn body. And again, they don't kill as violent as Santa does. Because at one point, Santa running, this smart get a sledgehammer. He finds a sledgehammer just like the old days and is tearing these niggas off. He then grabs some ice skates that was hanging and decapitates the nigga. He drags two dudes, hangs their neck up, and put them on a snowblower. You know, those high-powered snowblowers that will chop up ice and thick snow. Have these monsters get dragged in, and then all they shit spread out. But the worst, I think one of the worst deaths on top of that, and I don't know if I'm not going to tell you how it happens. Yeah, I won't even tell you what the worst death to me is. I won't, because that's one thing I don't want to spoil in this. Some of y'all might put it in the comments as you're watching this, so I can't control that part. But again, the bad Santa element, the drunk Santa, the dude who's just like, I just trying to go the fuck home. Yo, at one point, the reindeer leave this nigga, right? The reindeer leave this nigga, and because he trying to go back up. He like, yo, they let these mercenaries have this shit. I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. I gotta go deliver toys. He tried to go on the roof to get to the reindeer. So because the dude shot up through the roof, it kind of spooked the reindeer. They take off. Another point, Santa's bag gets destroyed because again, the magic is in there. The reindeer come back. All in all, because there's so much I always do spoiler reviews, but I feel like in this situation, because of what this movie is, I kind of want more people to see it, and I don't want to give every single thing away. Okay. David Harbour, Santa Claus, is a massive motherfucking dude. Find out Santa tatted up too, like word. But it's not the tat you would think. It's not like jingle bells and all this shit. It's Celtic warrior, tribal type tats from back in his day when he was a warrior. And again, I think that plays a big element into it because all of the stories in which we've heard as kids or through other movies and TV shows have said that Saint Nick was a dude who always wanted to help kids because him and Mrs. Claus can help kids, or different variations of the sort. So it was always a dude who was chosen because this is what he did. This is what he was doing in life. But to have it where he is a dude who was out here brutalizing niggas. He was pillaging and shit. And so I think one of the things too is this movie lends itself to giving you a sequel. Also, it lends itself to a prequel. Now, Rudolph is mentioned in this because at one point the reindeer's on the roof and thinks Prancer just shits a big pile of shit, and Santa accidentally steps in it, and he's like, yo, Rudolph would have never done this. So you like, yo, where's Rudolph, right? So myself and Martin Morrow, comedian Martin Morrow, we went to the theater, we saw it together. We came up with what would be possibly the greatest prequel to set up another film in this series. If you go back, right? So it's like the earlier years of Santa as Santa Claus, right? And he has just Rudolph, right? He just got Rudolph. He don't have his other 8 reindeer yet. He got just Rudy. So it's him on the sleigh, Rudy, they doing their delivery. They run into some guys in the mid-time, let's say in the 30s and 40s. They run into some gangsters or whatever. In the process, Rudolph dies, right? Now, when Rudy died, Rudy laying there, deer like, and then all of a sudden his nose started flickering and shit, and then his nose go out, Rudolph! And then Santa go and kill everybody, right? But what he doesn't realize is in this house, there's like a barn or something in the back. And at the end, Santa finds the barn or in the forest, whatever, and there are 8 baby reindeer who are left alone. And so from there, Santa now has his 8 reindeer, which are Comet and Cupid, Dasher and Dancer, Prancer and Blitzen, Vixen and whatever, Nixon. Cupid, Blitzen, Prancer, Dancer, Comet. Y'all know the goddamn names, but yeah, that lends itself that way. So that could possibly be a thing. I don't know if David Harbour wants to do more of these movies. I don't know if this is a one-off deal. I think it's something nice to have his own type of franchise with it. We talk a lot about how everything is just particular IPs and superheroes and whatnot. And yeah, of course, I just compared this to 2 popular movies, Bad Santa and Die Hard, the first Die Hard. So it is what it is. I liked it. I hope you did. If you saw it, if you have not, I just encourage you. It's a good about an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's not super long, not super drawn out. It's a good movie. You sit up, you chill. You're going to have some old shit jumps. You're going to do a whole lot, but it is not for kids. That is the number one thing. This movie is, even though it has those tender, heartfelt moments, it is not for children at fucking all, okay? But with that being said, I want to know what you think about it if you saw it down in the comments below, all right? So while you're here, like the video, share the video, click on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. If you want to do some love and show some thanks for the holidays, the super thanks thing with the little dollar thing is there. Or you can do Cash App, Venmo, whatever works here. So Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Hive, if that ever goes back up, at Mr. J Washington, MRJAY. You should know how to spell Washington. The Mad Titan Podcast, everywhere you get your podcast from. I get you caught up on all the things happening in the Marvel and DC live action cinematic universes. It is Barbershop Talk for Nerds. Come on in the convo. Me and my co-host BC. I got a new show coming out. It's myself, the homie Prim from Prim's Hood Cinema, and my other boy Chris Burns. We got the Black Boy Content Club coming out. Stay tuned for that as well. All right, holla at y'all later. Take care. I'm out. Bye.